Good gravy, I got confused. uh, hey, hello, how do you do? Shady Doorags here. Oh, I got so confused. usually, uh, usually when you click start streaming on your whatever your thing is, uh, you have to wait until you click go live on YouTube. But uh, freaking YouTube just went live and I wasn't ready. I was like, oh jeez, wait, hold up. uh, Let me start the music. Jeez. There it is. I'm gonna turn it down. Should. Oh jeez, it's very loud on my end. Okay, there we go. Alright, so hopefully I have the music set up correctly. His avatar's getting steadily more ticked out of, yeah. uh, Alright, so let me go ahead. Again, I wasn't ready. Like, I was getting ready, and I wanted to see what it looked like. And I click start streaming, and it's like, go live? Okay, let's do it. But just welcome to the stream. I'm just relaxing here. Thought I'd it's been a while since I've streamed, so I thought I would go ahead and do a stream, and let people get in questions and things like that. Just have a nice little chat with you guys. What's this? Where are you from? I am from Florida. I do not currently live in Florida, but that is where I'm from. Let's see if I can get this going. Oh, I got the mic right next to the keyboard. You guys can hear all my typing. Currently designing a temple while being in the live. Score 1 for multitasking. What kind of temple? Like, you mean for like a video game or like an actual temple? Approximately how much alcohol can a horse drink in order to be drunk? The answer is a lot. It takes a lot of alcohol to get a horse drunk. I do not like the placement of that. And also it's too small. Make it bigger. No, I want it centered. Here, I'll move the chat down a little bit. Did you know that in Hebrew, Bojack Horseman is called the show on the horse? I did not know that. On paper, I got the aesthetic done. I just can't draw, so I'm doing written word as best as I can. Yeah, but is it like a temple for a video game, or is it an actual temple? Like, because we have temples in real life. Like, trying to make this font bigger. I don't usually put font in live stream. It's been forever since I live stream. Freaking OBS has changed quite a bit. Ah, there we go. Found it. Alright. But now I can't see. Okay, well, first of all, let's not use that font. Let's use... It won't let me change the font. Oh, there we go. I had to do that. I want this one. Okay. Let's make it a bit bigger, please. Maybe bigger than that. That stands out. Can I give it an outline? Outline. Yeah. Oh. There we go. Okay. The music is switching too quickly. Music, I need you to stick to one song for a little bit. Here, we will stick to... We will stick to this song. I like this song. Ah! It was playing two songs at once. Shut up. And that song was very, very loud. Oh, I forgot I could just... Crap. Okay. I messed that up. I forgot I could just, on the actual player, just say, hey, only repeat one song. Man, I was so prepared for this stream, guys. That is so loud. Oh my goodness. Why is it so loud? There we go. Alright, now to the actual chat. So let's try to fix that. Let's see what you guys have been saying. Have you ever watched Steven Universe? And if so, what are your thoughts on it? I did watch Steven Universe. I came in when Steven Universe was starting to get good. It was right when it was right after they had discovered I want to say season 2, but I'm not sure. The big thing that was going on the internet was Stronger Than You with Garnet, but the water one, I can't remember her name. She was already a big thing as well. I came in at that time, and I really liked what I was seeing, and I tried to get into it, but like a lot of shows at the time, this is like back in 2017, I think it was, like 2016. At the time, I was trying to get back into cartoons, and I was doing it through Cartoon Network, and Cartoon Network just kept spamming Teen Titans Go. And I just, like, I would put on Cartoon Network to listen to the background while I work on stuff, because I was in college, and I was also doing YouTube stuff at the time. Hold on, my YouTube is derping. And, so because of that, because Teen Titans Go was just so much, I decided to, I just stopped watching Cartoon Network because I was just so sick of Teen Titans Go. Like Teen Titans Go, I didn't hate Teen Titans Go. Like a lot of, well, actually nowadays a lot of cartoon reviewers don't hate Teen Titans Go. But back in the day, even then, I didn't hate Teen Titans Go. There were a couple of things I hated with what they did with Teen Titans Go. They scheduled it way too much, and I didn't like when when Teen Titans Go insulted older fans. So the output I have, it says it's too high. Is the stream lagging for you guys? I mean, I mainly just care about the audio. It says that the video might be lagging, but there's not much going on with the video anyway. I just need to know if the audio is lagging for you guys. Alright, everybody says that the stream is good. Okay. YouTube says it's lagging, but it's probably just the video portion of it. And since I don't really care too much about the video portion of it, it'll be fine. Alright, so getting back to chat now. Where's my drink? Oh, here it is. Choo-choo-choo. My favorite Futurama episode is that with Devil's Hands. Yeah, a lot of people said wait till I get to the Devil's Hands episode. I already know what it's about. There are some episodes of Futurama I've seen a good chunk of already, or I've seen clips of on YouTube. But I'm just now sitting down watching it properly. And there are some episodes I've seen full stop. Like, I actually saw The Sting full stop before. I saw Jurassic Park. There were a decent amount of episodes I've seen full stop. But like I said, now I'm just watching it completely. I've just got to season 5, I think it is, episode 12. Whichever one with Bigfoot. That's the one I just finished watching. I posted this on Twitter. I rewatched the Sting episode, and that episode I was actually really shocked that it made me tear up. That was this Jurassic Park didn't actually make me tear up watching it again, and I understand why. I might do a video on why, but the Sting actually did make me tear up. And I'm already tired of this song. Play a different one. But I was really shocked when I got to the end of the Sting and it was able to make me sob like that. Have you watched the MLB episode Santa Claus? If you did, what did you think of it? I'm not sure what MLB is. I feel like I missed something very obvious here. Are you a fan of South Park? I've never really got the chance to get into South Park, but I am a fan of what it has done. Yeah, see, because that other song was so super loud, this one's super quiet now. There we go. Oh, I just turned my microphone up. No! There we go. Desktop. There we go. Lapis, yeah, that was her name. When are you going to finish your review of Star vs. the Forces of Evil finale? That, oh my goodness. I put that out there because I was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and get this done, and it'll probably take me a week or two. The script was so long for that video. I couldn't believe how long that freaking script was for the Star vs. Evil finale, and I still gotta go back and add stuff to it. Like, oh, Miraculous Ladybug. That's what MLB is. Why didn't I know that? Oh my goodness. I either call it Ladybug or Miraculous. I rarely ever call it Miraculous Ladybug. Love from Inya. Love your Bojack reviews. Thank you very much. Yeah, I have. Okay, now that I see what you said. The one with Santa Claus. Yes, I have seen it. I didn't really like it when I first saw it because Adrian felt really out of character. That he would just randomly decide to destroy a Christmas tree because he's angry. But it's kind of hard to say that because sometimes they will randomly make Adrian a brat now. Now that I've seen season 2. I don't like when they do that. It really feels just completely out of nowhere. At Shady Doorags, have you ever seen Hot Wheels World Race? I've seen one Hot Wheels series. I don't remember what it was called. It was on Toonami. I want to say it was the original Hot Wheels series, but I don't know. It was CG, and I loved it. I thought it was such a creative idea. Like they took these it was like speed. It was like a modern day speed racer. Like they took these really fancy cars and did cool tricks with it. And there was that moment where they tried to go over this huge loop-de-loop, which if you ever played with Hot Wheels when you were a kid, that's an easy thing to do. But none of the cars could do it, and they had to figure out this very complicated way to make the cars go to loop-de-loop. Acceleracers, that sounds about right. Love your coverage of Bojack Horseman Season 6 and your top 10 episodes. Agree with a lot of your choices from that. Thank you. I also agree with a lot of my choices from that. Hi, okay, I see a lot of people who review Bojack just hate Diane. Can you tell me why people hate her so much? She's just trying to be her best, man. Well, first of all, I don't see a lot of Bojack reviewers hating on Diane. There is a large chunk of the Bojack community that did hate Diane. I would still say I would say there's still a large chunk of the community that dislikes her as well. The first BoJack Horseman video I ever did was why the community doesn't like Diane. It's because her character is centered around hypocrisy and ungratefulness, and a lot of people just don't find that charming in a character. She's just trying to do her best or be her best. I would say no, she's not, because Diane is the one character who knows something is wrong and then does it. I would say that's true of season 1 and season 6 Diane, but in between those, no. Diane wasn't just trying to do her best. She actually saw moments where she was supposed to do something right and then chose not to do it. My problem with Miraculous is sometimes the storyline is an episode or characters changes seem like fan fiction or pandering. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm actually seeing a lot of that. Or I wouldn't say pandering, but I would say fan fiction. Like, it does feel like they get different writers who just, they watch a couple of episodes, but they haven't really put themselves into these characters, and they're like, oh, I know where to take this character, and they take it in a completely different direction than what the story was already going for, and they don't really develop them properly. It's funny that Nina, Alia, and Chloe got Miraculouses, but they hardly show up anymore. I hate that. I hate it so much. Like, this is why I call them the Sailor Scouts, because I thought they were going to become a major part of the show once they show up. That's usually how superhero shows do it. If they don't become a major part of the show, they at least get to keep their superpowers. I really hate what Miraculous is doing with everyone who's not Marinette. But why is it acceptable for Bojack to do the same? It is not acceptable for Bojack to do the same. People aren't as harsh on Bojack because Bojack's character does not revolve around hypocrisy. Bojack knows he's a bad person. And so people see he does bad things. They don't excuse him for it, but they're not super harsh on him like Diane, because Diane, before season 6, when Diane said she was just as tough on herself as everyone else, it really felt like she thought she was superior to everyone else. Yeah, no one likes a hypocrite, and Diane's character is centered around that. But Diane is also, she also finds silver linings very easily, and it can be very grating to watch somebody who is just constantly not thankful for what they have. I've told people this before. I used to get questioned all the time, what's the secret to happiness? And I'm like, well, I'm not a philosopher, but in my opinion, the secret to happiness is learning to be thankful. You can have everything in the world. If you're not thankful, you'll never be happy. You can have nothing, but if you're thankful, you'll still find a way to be happy. Have you heard the theory that the final episode of BoJack Horseman was his view from halfway down? Not my theory. Yes, I have heard. I don't believe it. I don't think there's enough context to suggest that he actually died. Also, my favorite episode, Futurama episode, is a hard one, but I gotta go with the late Philip J. Fry. A lot of people have said that one. I've never seen that one, so I'm super excited to watch it. Because a lot of people were like, "No, I wasn't thinking about Jurassic Park. I was thinking about the late Philip J. Fry. Haha, Shady, you suck." And I'm like, "Well, you got me." What's your take on View from Halfway Down? There is a video about my take on the View from Halfway Down. My favorite Futurama episode is the one where Hermes does a song and dance. That's the episode my brain goes to when I think of Futurama. I think that was probably like the first episode of Futurama I ever kind of saw. I didn't see the whole thing. But like whenever I think of Futurama, I think of Hermes, and he's in that slave camp, and he makes the Australian man do all the work because he's a bureaucrat. And then he goes back and he sings a Jamaican song. Slum Factory, Worms and Fry, Devil's Hands, and maybe the Penguin. Am I the only person who thinks that the best thing that ever happened is one of the best episodes of Bojack? I've seen some people say that. I personally, I think it's objective. Here's the thing. uh, a lot of episodes in Bojack are top tier. Like, a lot of them. That's why when I did my top 10, it was a personal thing. I wasn't trying to be objective. I was trying to say, these are the episodes I personally like the most. I would say, though, S ranking, I would put, The View from Halfway Down. If I'm being objective, I would put The View from Halfway Down, Free Churro, Times Arrow, and what's it called? The Sugarman place, the old Sugarman place. Those are like the four I would say are S tier, and there's probably some more that I'm not thinking of right now. But there's a lot of BoJack Horseman episodes that are A plus tier. And I think the best thing that ever happened, that's an A plus tier episode. I really appreciate your emphasis on empathy when it comes to your analysis. It helped me keep a level head when analyzing characters I would typically despise and write off. See, here's the thing about... I just did it again. Here's the thing about empathy. Like, I started my channel... I'm pretty sure I've told this story like 920 times. But I started the whole Shady Doorags concept based on understanding other people's perspective and empathy. Back then, it was because I was in... school for computer science, but on the side I was doing art. And engineers and artists, a lot of times, even though they have to work together all the time, a lot of times they don't see eye to eye. And I'm like, if they could just see each other's perspective, they would be a lot more understanding. And I kind of wanted to do that with Shady Doorags. Not just this YouTube channel, but I wanted to do other stuff with Shady Doorags. But at the time, I was so busy with school, I was like, okay, I'm just going to do fun stuff, whatever comes to my mind. And then once I got into cartoon analysis, I realized that, pardon me, I just ate, but I started realizing that empathy in general is missing so much, and it annoys me. It really does annoy me. Because I decided like right when I came out of college that I would always try to hear the other side out, because I encountered people who they 100% thought I was wrong and they would not listen. And I was like, if they would just listen, they would see. And then I said to myself, well, how do you know you're not like that? And I said, well, the only thing I can do is make sure that I always listen to the opposing side. Always. Even when I 100% think I'm right. That's the only thing I can do. I can't control other people, but I can make sure I myself am listening to them, so that if I am wrong, then I'll be able to see it. And you have to listen with the thought process of maybe I'm wrong. You're a nice dude. I don't think so. I don't think I'm a nice dude. I think I'm an entertaining dude online for the most part. I know that's a bit tweeting my own horn there. Yeah, I don't think I'm a nice dude. It's funny you keep talking about ears and listening, but your avatar ears are covered. Yeah, my avatar comes from my old channel. His original name was Random Person, and back then I had this shtick about not revealing who I was, because in the 2000s, the early 2000s, in the 2000s in general, when you got on the internet and you were a kid, they were like, don't let people know who you are, don't reveal any information. And I took that to heart. So back then, I had a completely covered costume. It covered my entire body. And my avatar still looks like that. When I got this channel, I was like, well, he still kind of looks like me. And he's still cartoony enough. I don't want a serious-looking avatar. I like that he's cartoony. So, yeah, I stuck with him. Why don't you think you're nice? Because I'm more logical-oriented. There's the left side of the brain, which is more logical oriented, and there's the right side of the brain, which is more emotionally oriented. I mean, there's 4 hemispheres of the brain: frontal, parietal, occipital, temporal. But if you divide it in half, the left side of the brain is more logical, the right side of the brain is more emotional. This is why females have a larger right side of the brain. Well, I shouldn't say it's why, but females have a larger right side of the brain, which is why females are more quote unquote motherly. And I am more logical. So I will say things that will generally not put your feelings first. Generally. I do try to have tact with what I say, but especially if I'm talking to you face to face. Like online, I'm a bit more cautious with what I say. But when we're in person, I tend to say things that I don't put your feelings first. And I actually get confused when people get so mad at me for not putting feelings first. I'm like, but it's true, and they're like, well, how would you feel if somebody said that to you? And I'm like, I would accept it because it's true. People have done that. Like, they've said things that would hurt other people's feelings, and they said it to me, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you make a fair point. That's why I think I'm not quote unquote nice. I put facts way before feelings. Not that I think feelings are useless. Feelings serve a very important purpose in humans. I just tend to put logic first. I'm very logic-oriented. If you know logos, ethos, and pathos, a pathos argument 99% of the time will not work on me. A pathos argument a lot of times will actually make me angry. Shady Ben Shapiro. No, I wouldn't say I'm Ben Shapiro. First of all, I don't talk that fast. Second of all, I wouldn't call myself that smart. Logic and emotion need to have a balance, I think. I think they do too, but the problem is I don't think it should be a 50-50 balance. You know what? Let's divide the chat. What's your opinion on today's political climate? I don't want to talk about politics on the channel. Oh, man. See, here's the thing about politics. I think it should be fine to talk about politics, but the sad truth is it's not. Your political opinion can get you into so much trouble. Even if you're just trying to, even if, you're like me and you're just trying to talk about a cartoon that happens to have politics in it, it can just it can divide everything. And I'm not too much worried about, the people in my audience not liking what I have to say, but there are certain powers that could just turn me off for saying the wrong thing. And also, I don't want to make the focus of my channel politics. I'm fine with politics being out there. That's not the point of this channel. And when you mention politics, it suddenly becomes the point, the only thing the audience wants to talk about. And I'm like, I want to talk about how good the story is in a cartoon. I don't want to talk about the political aspect of it. And that's just the sad truth of it. I don't hate politics, but it's everywhere nowadays, like freaking everywhere. And B, it can do devastating things to you if you're in the limelight. And C, it takes control of your audience. Like, you might want to make a slight political comment about something and just say, "Oh, I agree/disagree with it," and then suddenly that's everything in the chat. That one example is no, you know what? Let me stop, because I'm gonna be a hypocrite if I go into further detail. But let's move on to a different question. Have you seen How to Train Your Dragon? I've seen the first two movies. I loved the first movie before it was cool, and I still don't really like the second movie, even though people really love the second movie. Have you seen The Boys? I have not. I almost thought you were talking about Four Brothers. I have seen that. Are there any Agretzko videos coming soon, since season 3 is coming August 27th? I might make an Agretzko video when season 3 comes out. I don't have any plans for an Agretzko video. What do you think of Daria? I have never seen it. I know its reputation. I've never seen it. Is Mr. Peanut Butter a good person? That is debatable. Because I've said, if your intentions are good and you succeed in having those good intentions come true, then you're a good person. If your intentions are bad and you succeed in having those bad intentions come through, then you're a bad person. If it's anything that's not that, it's complicated. It gets a bit more complicated. You mean Four Brothers with Mark Wahlberg? Yes. I love Four Brothers. It's not what you would think of as a Shady type of movie. Like, I don't generally watch movies like Four Brothers, but back when it came out, I really enjoyed it. I think part of the problem is that politics can't be discussed without things getting heated. No one knows how to hold a proper debate or discussion. That's part of it, yeah. So 9 times out of 10, it just turns into a screeching match of who is right and wrong. Kinda, sorta. What are your thoughts on F Is for Family Season 4? Frank has gotten on my last nerves. I relate to Frank more than I do Bojack, but I hate Frank so much. Goodness gracious, Frank is annoying. He's annoying because he has the same problem every season, and he doesn't really. He'll say he'll improve, and then he doesn't, and that's frustrating to watch a character go through. And it's his impulsiveness. It's not his anger, it's just his impulsiveness to act on his anger. He doesn't just stop and not do something. And actually, there was one part of I think it was in season 2, where he was trying to be more calm, and his family gave him grief for it. It's like, why don't you yell anymore? It's like, because that's not what you're supposed to do in civil conversation. You're not just supposed to yell till you get your way. And that annoyed me so much in this season. Because Frank was like, "Oh, I'm going to be a better father," and his problem is impulse. He acts on impulse all the time, and it just annoys me because it's so obvious what's about to happen, and he just does it anyway. F Is for Family, I kind of want to talk about, but at the same time, I'm hesitant to talk about because F Is for Family goes deep into fatherhood. It goes deep into family positions, but fatherhood is the main topic, and there was one conversation in F Is for Family that it kind of made me stroke my beard. And it was when they were sitting around and the dads were talking about how horrible their dads were. And Frank's father-in-law gave like the most horrible story of how his dad, by proxy, killed his girlfriend. And he said he wished he had did the same. It just made me think of how a lot of the aspect of the father used to be like the protector type character, and then they had to raise any young men they had as a future protector, and it made me think a lot about that stuff. But that's a difficult topic to talk about in today's society. The view from halfway down or free churro. Go watch my top 10 Bojack Horseman videos. You'll get your answer. Have you seen the How to Train Your Dragon shows? Have you ever seen the How to Train Your Dragon? I started watching one, and I made a mistake in watching it. I thought they did something wrong, and they didn't. But because of my own personal thoughts, I stopped watching it, and I never went back to it. Dude, I love your content so much. I'm so glad you popped up when I looked up Bojack Horseman. I've seen like all your videos and enjoy them all. Thank you so much. Oh, you're welcome so much. This is one of my favorite loop musics that I have. Well, there's a bunch of other songs I have that I could loop, but I would love to see F is for Family in the present day. Like, did you hear Has-Been Hotel got picked up by A24? I did not hear that. Thoughts on Avatar TV show? I keep forgetting my mic is on my desk. I can't be doing that. Avatar. I have plans for Avatar. For a while, if you've been on the channel for a while, you've heard me say I want to do something with Avatar. And I finally got all the stuff I needed to do it, and I didn't know what to do because everybody covered it. Everybody covered everything I wanted to say about Avatar. But a couple of weeks ago, I finally thought of something I could do. It's a big project that I'm going to do with Avatar. And I honestly can't wait for it, but I would like to get a couple of other videos done first. I would like to get the Star versus Forces of Evil video done, because that's another big project. It wasn't supposed to be a big project. It was just supposed to be the piggy piece, but that script is so freaking long. Have you seen The Good Place? No, people keep asking me to watch it, and I'll probably get around to it, but I'm in the middle of Futurama right now. Hot take, I'm just happy Brian and Mike left the Netflix thing. Aaron made that show. Hyped to see your project thought. Oh, your project though. Brian and Mike, that's the creators of Avatar, right? I don't remember their names, but the original creators of Avatar. I remember somebody said when they found out that the original creators were leaving the Netflix live adaptation. In case you guys didn't know, the creators of Avatar are leaving the live adaptation of it. Somebody said they're scared of what's going to happen because now that the creators are gone, the show was in safer hands when the creators were there. Now that they're gone, they're not sure what's going to happen. And I was like, did you see Korra? FYI, I'm not a big fan of The Legend of Korra. I need to watch all of it because, as most of you know, I didn't finish watching it. I saw the first season. I loved the first season, except for the very last episode. But as time went on, I really saw the problems of the first season. Season 2 just really irked me because Korra was the exact same character. She didn't learn anything. Season 3 was getting good as I was watching it, and I stopped in the middle because at the time I had a job and it was conflicting with the show's schedule, so I couldn't watch all of it. Have you seen Trailer Park Boys? I have not. I'm curious, where does DBZ Abridged rank in your terms of favorite shows? It seems like no one takes it seriously as art, and it's frustrating how people appreciate it. Well, how few people appreciate it. DBZA has millions of fans. It's considered an abridged parody thing. That's the thing. It's not an original piece of work, so it's hard to compare it to DBZ Abridged to any other anime or something like that. You have to compare it to other things that aren't original, like other abridged series, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged or SAO Abridged or something like that. But most fans love DBZA Abridged. Most fans of the original Dragon Ball Z love DBZA Abridged because it showed that it knew the original source material. When you rag on something, when you parody it, you really need to show that you understand it. This is why a lot of the original fans hated Teen Titans Go, because it didn't show it understood it. The Dragon Ball Z Abridged, everybody loved making fun of Dragon Ball Z. Everybody loved making fun of the fact that Frieza said 5 minutes, and then it took 50 episodes. Like, you just got to understand where the problems are. What do you recommend to fill me with my Bojack Horseman needs now that it is done? The top show I would recommend is Agretzko. It's still going. Some people would say Tuca and Birdie. I would say Tuca and Birdie, depending for what you're looking for in BoJack Horseman, it can hit that sweet spot. If you're looking for certain other things though, Tuca and Birdie won't hit it. It's supposed to get a new season on Adult Swim. I haven't heard any progress on that, but season 1 is still on Netflix, I believe. There's another show I'm thinking of, but I can't put it to my head. What do you recommend to film me my... Oh, I just read that. Have you seen JoJo? I have not. I am a 19-year-old, though, so I constantly see memes of it everywhere. Are you excited season 3 of Agretzko? Yes! Yes, I am. Agretzko is an amazing show. I genuinely cannot wait for... I'm super excited for season 3 of Agretzko. Like, I don't get excited for new shows lately. Even like season 4 of F Is for Family. You know, a lot of times I'm watching a show more for the channel than I am for myself. But Agretzko, I just love it. So I love Agretzko so much. It's got so much meaning behind it, and it's funny. It makes me laugh out loud. Have you ever watched China IL? Is that Illinois? I have not. Have you seen The Midnight Gospel? No. Have you watched One Piece? Yes. And I stopped watching it after the Dressrosa arc because that filler is ridiculous. that stupid... the combination of the One Piece Dressrosa arc and Naruto Great Ninja War, the combination of those two fillers burnt me out of anime. It burnt me out of anime, period. I would like to get back into anime. I really miss how excited I used to be for anime. But I go back to Crunchyroll every now and then. I'm just like, I just can't. Like, unless I can find a place where I can legally watch all of the Detective Conan episodes, it's going to be really hard for me to get back into anime. JoJo, it's so good. 22 female hype for Gretzko and VA being fully dubbed. What's your thoughts on Paradise PD? Haven't seen it. It looks dumb. But then again, Bojack Horseman looked dumb, so maybe I shouldn't make that statement. If the unicorn is Retsuko's new boyfriend, what? I haven't seen anything regarding season 3 of Retsuko, so I don't know what you mean when you say the unicorn. One Piece anime is not very good. I read the manga nowadays. Yeah, the manga... a lot of people say is, well, for just about any anime, the manga is probably, shonen specifically, the manga is going to be better. Because shonen is the one that loves to stretch things out. Detective Conan is on Netflix. Yes, it is, but every time I check, it's not the whole thing. Like, I stopped, I think it was episode 650, I think it was, with Detective Conan. And I will gladly pick up right there. Shoot, I'll gladly rewatch the whole series if it was there. Crunchyroll starts at like episode 750, something like that. So I'll be missing like 100 episodes. Have you seen more of Rick and Morty and Dragon Prince? I have not seen more of Rick and Morty, and I have the Dragon Prince script done. I've been working on Dragon Prince for a while now, but I've been having difficulty writing scripts lately. So the Dragon Prince is probably going to be the next video out. That's one of the that and another video I had planned on releasing today, but I didn't get the script done on time. I also rewatched FMA, Brotherhood, and that anime spectacular. I think you'd like it. I don't know, because like I said, I got burned out of anime. Have you seen Hunter x Hunter? I saw the original Hunter x Hunter, and I loved it. It's one of the best animes in my opinion because there's so little filler. Every episode gets so much done. I didn't know you could get that much done in an episode. Every episode, I was like, okay, one more episode. Okay, one more episode. Okay, one more episode. Because so much happens in just one episode, and then it always leaves off on a cliffhanger. it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Did you ever hear the tragedy of Dark Plagueis the Wise? um, I was trying to think of a clever comeback to that, but I couldn't think of one. Minus 10 points to Gryffindor because Shady couldn't think of a clever comeback. Hey, what are your thoughts of Umbrella Academy? Also love your vids. New to this channel. I have not seen Umbrella Academy. I know there's a lot of people who are fans of it. Ooh, an anime series. Did you ever watch it? I did. It was actually... I didn't like the animation, but it actually did the Green Lantern series justice. No pun intended. I was a huge Green Lantern fan for the longest time. Freaking Hal Jordan, that was one of my favorite... I think Hal Jordan was my favorite DC superhero. It was either Hal Jordan or Nightwing. Ezrin said he felt like an outcast because everyone treated him like a prince in the castle. The other townsfolk treat him like a kid. He feels like Derek from Disenchantment and Konohama from Naruto. Well, I haven't seen season 3 yet, so... but the reason Ezrin said he was an outcast in the first season was because he just didn't fit in with humans. He talked to animals, which came out of left field. I knew he could talk to animals, that was obvious. But him not feeling like he fit in, that just came out of left field. Are you going to make more Bojack videos? Probably, but I'm probably not going to focus on them. I'm actually very glad the Futurama video did so well because there was that fear in the back of my mind that I was stuck as the Bojack guy and that it was going to be insanely difficult to reclaim views like they used to be just because I wasn't doing Bojack anymore. And then I recalled a lot of people said they wanted me to review Futurama, and I was watching it anyway. And then that luck of the Fryrish hit me. I was like, okay, I have to make a video about this. So I'm just really glad that video did well. You could have questioned if the egg would become a MacGuffin when it was dying. You did a character alignment video on Bojack. Will you do one for F is for Family and Agretzko in the future? I probably should do one for F is for Family. And Agretzko. Yeah, I love the character alignments. By the way, the other two character alignments I don't stand by those videos. The Bojack one and the Beastars one, I don't stand by those videos. I think I made some horrible mistakes in those, specifically with what qualifies as an evil person. So yeah, the next character alignment video I do, that's probably what I should have did for today. But I needed to do a live stream anyway. I hadn't done one in a while. What's your favorite show of all time? Avatar: The Last Airbender. Although it is pretty possible that the reboot of DuckTales could replace it. I don't think it's going to, but so far, DuckTales has done nothing wrong. I love DuckTales so much. Amaya and her army would have killed Rayla anyway, and pretending to be her hostage was a better bet because, I feel like you guys are talking about spoilers. Oh, no. Better bet... And pretending to be her hostage was a better bet because in the human mind, Rayla would kill the princess if they didn't let them through. But the thing is, Amaya is a general. Like, immediately when Callum did that, I was like, I immediately thought in my head, she's a general. She's a general. She will try to kill Rayla, and they will put a bounty on her if you get away. From this point on, she will be an even bigger enemy to humans than she already was. That was my thought process. When you, as the prince, can explain this process to adults. The problem is, Callum had this mindset that adults weren't going to listen to him because Viren wouldn't listen to him. So, that's the mindset he stuck by in that moment. The thing is, though, they don't know this, so I'm not going to pin this on them. But if they had said, "Hey, uh, Rayla's a good guy. She's on our side," and Amaya didn't listen, what would have happened? Amaya would have taken them in. The elf would have been a prisoner, and Ezrin would have became king anyway, and then he could have just let her go. So, again, they didn't know that, so I'm not gonna hold that against them. But I'm just saying. What is your opinion on Star versus the Forces of Evil? Star versus the Forces of Evil is a B plus cartoon. It would be an A, or no, B minus cartoon. B minus cartoon. It would be an A tier cartoon, if the finale didn't happen. Like the last 4 episodes, the finale. I think I say this in the script, but whatever. Spoilers. The finale of Star versus the Force of Evil is the equivalent of somebody doing really well in the class, then starting to do not as good, but still doing decently well, and then failing the final. Like, they just do horrible on the final. Rayla has her flaws. She feels it's her fault the Dragon King and the Prince died and nearly died because of being the daughter of cowards, but it's not. Don't spoil it too much. Like I said, I haven't seen season 3. Rayla definitely has her faults. Some of them appear in season 2, and I'm actually going to rant about some of them. Your opinion on Amphibia and the Owl House? I have not seen it. As Wristband was shrinking, it represents her stress about telling the princess their dad is dead. I guess that's a good metaphor. My favorite is probably Bender's Big Score. I love the story. It has great comedy and feels like the pinnacle of the series. I don't know if I've seen that episode yet. Alright, let's change up the music. I really like this song, but it's been playing for a while. It's the first movie. Oh, okay, yeah. I haven't seen any of the movies. But speaking of movies, I did watch Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans. I was thinking about doing a video on it. I might still do it. But again, I don't hate Teen Titans Go, but I feel like the creators of Teen Titans Go do not understand Teen Titans. I really do. They had to change the original Starfire so much in that show in order to make the plot happen. And one of the villains from the original Teen Titans universe, they just made him such a joke of his former self. Callum has good traits with his plans. The Dragon Prince Zim would be dead if Callum didn't smash the storm ball, and Rayla and Bait would be dead if he didn't zap the giant fish. That is true. What is your favorite and most important topic that Bojack Horseman talked about? My favorite topic is probably empathy when well, I don't know if they talk specifically about empathy. Like, the whole show's theme is understanding the side of the evil person. You know, Bojack is, in another story, would be an evil person. But I really like empathy. I really like how they talk about the fear of death. Those are the two big ones. What's your take on the unskippable 15-second ads before every video on YouTube? I think 15 seconds is the perfect amount of time for an ad to be unskippable, though it is annoying because I'm a millennial and we grew up with computers, so we always want things faster. Is that a follow-up to Teen Titans Go movie? Because at the end of the credits they said to be continued. I think they had plans with Teen Titans and they just didn't go through with it. So this Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans was part of that. I'm not 100% sure. I don't really follow the Teen Titans Go info too much. I wanted to see Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans. It looked funny. It looked fun. And I still kind of liked it. You know, there were some moments I thoroughly enjoyed. It annoys me whenever it's made super clear that the original, that the Teen Titans Go people clearly don't understand the original. People say Viren is interesting because he's supposed to be a pragmatic leader that makes hard choices for the greater good, but is actually an amoral sociopath that only cares about his power. Yeah, see... Oh, we're not looping this song. We can listen to the song once. We're not looping it. Also, you're too loud. I'm turning you down. That's what I wanted him to be. I wanted him to be a pragmatic leader who had to make hard choices. But once he said he was going to kill the princes, I was like, okay, no, he wants power. Like, you can't really get around that. Like, I was really trying to see his side, and he's like, no, I just ordering the princess's death. That's... Mm-mm. Have you watched the Miraculous episode with Santa Claus? I answered that question. Yes, I did. It was a long time ago, so I barely remember my thoughts, but I do remember not liking how Adrian acted, because he fell out of character. Like, Adrian wouldn't just randomly destroy a Christmas tree. Okay, we can loop this one for a bit. Fave Futurama episode, A Clockwork Origin. Perfect example of why the science versus religion debate is insane and has the best line ever. I've never seen that episode, but I know the punchline to it. Thoughts on Tuca and Birdie being renewed on Adult Swim? I saw it as inevitable. Not that Tuca and Birdie was bad, but Tuca and Birdie was attracting a very specific niche audience. And it wasn't going to hit those big numbers, and Netflix was already going through issues with its animation department. So I felt it was inevitable it was going to get canceled off of Netflix. I didn't want that to happen. I mean, at the time, I was feeling pretty petty because the Tuca and Birdie audience was not being nice to me. But I didn't want Tuca and Birdie to be canceled. I wanted it to improve. If you were an animal in Bojack, what animal would you be? I'd probably be a fox. Do you actually have a crush on Diane from Bojack? No, I don't. Diane, I think she was extremely pretty before she cut her hair. But no, I did not have a crush on her character. Some people said I had a crush on her character, and so for a joke in the season 1 review, I was like, oh, well, let me just go with it. Go with the meme. Gravity Falls thoughts. It's an amazing show. Disney still knows how to do animation. If only they could remember that and release more cartoons. Are you looking forward to Candace Against the Universe? I just finished the series again since they finally fixed the episode order and finished the whole show in 3 weeks. I'm not really looking forward to it, but I'll watch it. I don't think it's going to be bad. It's Phineas and Ferb. The only bad thing that comes to my mind is that Phineas and Ferb has ever done was the Marvel crossover. Because they just completely did Phineas's character. They just completely did him dirty. Like, Phineas just randomly got mad at Candace for messing up. I'm like, this is Phineas. I know Candace messed up, but everyone in Phineas and Ferb messes up all the time. And Phineas, it's so hard to get under Phineas's skin. And in the Marvel crossover, they just randomly made him this angry jerk because they wanted to throw a girl power message. I was like, wow, okay. Way to destroy the character for your girl power message. Like, what is your opinion on Master Fu in Season 3? I think he became a wasteful character. I have not finished Season 3. I've only seen one episode with him, and So much my opinion hasn't changed. I cannot stand Master Fu. Choo choo choo. Shady's first sonar revealed. Yeah. that's in any place where I would be an animal, it would be a fox. How hated Diane's hair in season 5 and 6. I prefer her with long hair. Yeah, I did too. I was actually very mad when she cut her hair. Because she said in season 1, I would be... I've always pictured myself with someone... I forget who she said, but it was this celebrity. She said, this celebrity, but with better hair. And Bojack said, you do have great hair. And she said, yeah. And I was like, yeah, she does have really pretty hair. And then she cut it. And I was like, no. I hate Candace. I don't hate Candace. I love everybody in Phineas and Ferb. Phineas and Ferb actually helped influence who I am today. Because when I was leaving for college, which was back in 2010, that's when the Summer Belongs to You special came out. And Phineas and Ferb sang one of the most influential songs for me personally. And it was Summer Belongs to You. The song Summer Belongs to You. Because, it was I was kind of a couch potato. I would do things for fun, but I would just sit around and not do anything. And the verse, specifically the verse by Candace. Time is what you make of it, so take a chance. Life is full of music, so you ought to dance. The world's a stage, and it's time for your debut. Don't waste a minute sitting on that chair. The world is calling, so just get out there. You can see forever, so your dreams are all in view. Like, that verse is something I try to go by. Like, I don't want to waste the time I have. And I did waste a lot of time as a teenager. I did a lot of fun stuff, but mainly what I did was I studied a lot because I was a high study student, and then I would just either watch TV or play video games. It wasn't until high school that I started doing stuff, like just starting clubs and being active with people. And once I heard that song, like, it actually brought tears because I was like, yeah, I can do stuff. I got to go out there and do it. I have to be the best me I can be. Have you taken a look at the Beastars manga? If so, what are your thoughts? I have not. I've only seen pictures of it. Speaking of Phineas and Ferb, have you seen Phineas and Ferb, the movie Across the Second Dimension? Yes, I have. It was alright. It wasn't really nothing to brag about. I didn't like when Phineas got mad in that one either. I felt like Phineas would have been more happy that Perry was a secret agent. He'd be like, oh, cool. But I don't think it's as out of character as with Candace. Because at the very least, Perry was lying to Phineas for years, and Phineas had just gone through something where he wanted Perry to be there, and Perry wasn't there, and Phineas got hurt. The whole Candace thing, just out of nowhere, he blew up on Candace. There are people still justifying and defending Viren's actions. Viren also represents humans don't care about the consequences of their actions. Yeah. And destroying nature for their commodities. Yeah, I can see that. The Onceler was a much better analogy for that. The original Onceler. From the original Lorax. The original Onceler is one of the, best... I can't even say villains. And he's I want to say antagonist, but he's not. He's technically the protagonist. The Onceler, man, I remember seeing the Onceler for the first time. I remember seeing the Lorax for the first time, and the Onceler said a line that just really spoke to me because it showed he was so human. He was talking to himself, and he said, man, I really probably should listen to the Lorax and stop doing this. And his other self said, yo, if I didn't do this, someone else would. And he was like, you're absolutely right. And I was like, wow, that's such a human thing to do. How humans justify their actions with things that make logical sense. That was a logical argument. If I don't do it, someone else would. So it might as well be me. That's a completely logical argument on doing the wrong thing. Thoughts on the Lorax 2012 movie? It's alright. I don't hate the Dr. Seuss movies. I actually really love The Grinch. The one that everybody says is a dishonor to the original Grinch. I love that movie. I think the main problem it did was put in adult jokes. It shouldn't have did that. I think if they just took out the adult jokes, like objectively, it's it upholds the Grinch standard. Like a lot of people love that version of the Grinch movie. But the other Doctor, like Horton Hears a Who, I think is fun. Um, I don't think that one's that bad. The Lorax I think is pretty bad, objectively speaking. It's still a lot of fun, but it's pretty bad because the original Lorax was so nuanced, and the 2012 version is just so in your face. And I think it does. I think it does two things just horrible, just absolutely horrible. The first thing it does is it shows the truffula trees growing, whereas the original ended on a note of hope that it's up to the kid to decide whether they grow. He doesn't actually plant the seed; you just see him walking away with the seed. And I think the other thing it does horribly wrong. Well, three things actually. The second thing it does horribly wrong is the Lorax comes back. It's like, come on, you completely destroyed the complete nuance of the first. And the third thing it does wrong is when the Lorax does come back, he tells the Onceler, "You did good." No, he didn't. The Onceler destroyed everything. The boy did good. The little boy, I don't even remember his name, but he did good. But yeah, I'm still fine with the movie. Like I really like the I listen to the songs all the time, and I'm fine with that version existing because the original still exists. The original is still a really good movie, or a really good story. What's your favorite Ghibli movie? I've only seen two. Uh, I've only seen My Neighbor Totoro. Oh, I've seen three. My Neighbor Totoro, Kiki's Delivery Service, and Spirited Away. And because of nostalgia, it's Kiki's Delivery Service. Like I can't even remember anything about Kiki's Delivery Service, but I saw it when I was really young, and I always get excited whenever I see like just a poster of it anywhere. But I haven't seen it since I was really young. Mm. Do you believe Viren's flashback he tells the kings? I don't know why I wouldn't believe it. Um, what Miraculous Ladybug episodes are you reacting to? There are a lot of plot episodes. Yeah, I can't react to every single one. I think, well, I could, but because of the nature of my channel, I can't because of the nature of my channel. So I would say I plan on reacting to Cat Blanca because everyone says that's a good one to react to. Other than that, I'm not 100% sure. The boy is Ted. Okay. What is your favorite movie or TV soundtrack? Soundtrack? I don't really soundtrack. The only soundtracks I listen to from no, I listen to a lot of soundtracks. I just never thought about which one's my favorite because obviously the answer would be Hamilton. But I'm not counting that as a movie or TV soundtrack. That's a live action play. Uh, My Little Pony is up there. I really love the songs from My Little Pony. Uh, I love both. I actually love the soundtrack from both versions of Aladdin. I don't like the live action movie of Aladdin, but I do like the soundtrack. Equestria Girls. I love Equestria Girls music. Ah, geez, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. Oh! It's probably going to be The Greatest Showman. It's probably going to be The Greatest Showman. Goodness gracious, the excitement that comes in me when The Greatest Showman songs come on my Pandora. I don't like all the songs. I don't like Walking This Tightrope. I don't like Home Again because there's not that many lyrics in Home Again. And Never Enough I do like, but I don't love it. But The Greatest Show, what's it called? What's that other song called? The Greatest Show, whatever song comes after The Greatest A Million Dreams. There you go. A Million Dreams is my. A Million Dreams is the greatest show. Are like tied for my absolute favorite. But I love The Greatest Show, man. The Greatest Show. A Million Dreams. I'm having trouble thinking of the other songs because his music is playing. Shut up, music. I'm trying to think of stuff. The romance song. I cannot think of it. The song where they're starting up the circus. I'm so mad I can't think of the titles of these songs. I haven't memorized. It's just this music is playing, and so I can't think of anything. And the main song that everybody sings. Those I love so much. Have you watched Bluey? It's a show that's from Australia. It's really amazing for both kids and adults. I have never heard of it. Thoughts on Has Been Hotel? I have not seen it. Have you seen the Harley Quinn show? I just started watching it and I'm loving it so far. The Harley Quinn show is a tough one for me. I've seen clips from it and it does seem like fun. I used to love shows that made fun of superheroes because I loved anything superhero related. Uh, I saw one joke with Aquaman and I was like, they did him dirty. It's difficult for me to get into that because I don't know how far they're going to annoy the original audience of superheroes. Do you see the contrast with Sora and Claudia with Zuko and Azula? No. Are you talking about the contrast with Sora and Claudia? Okay, I thought you were saying... Okay, I read that question completely different. I kind of do, but at the same time, you can say that with any sibling, because Sokka and Katara had a contrast with Azula and Zuko. Just like Azula and Zuko, as siblings who hate each other, you could see the opposite of any other siblings, because most siblings don't hate each other. I think the hate for Has Been Hotel comes from the fans of it being so in your face about how much they like it. If I had to give an example, it's like how people don't like K-pop fans on Twitter. Yeah, a lot of that. I've said that about things like Five Nights at Freddy and Let It Go. It's like something you don't necessarily hate, but it gets way more hype than you think it deserves. You wind up hating it more. Frozen was like that, and so was Five Nights at Freddy's. Maybe he told the story more heroically to buy the king's favors. Remember, he lied about being the Lord Regent. Yeah, but I don't have any evidence to suggest he lied this time. Hey, Shady, do you have a Discord server? I've been thinking about getting one for you guys. I'm just a little hesitant because I did the Reddit thing, and I want to be active on my subreddit. Just for no excusable reason, I'm just not. Like, people have asked me questions on the subreddit, and I feel so guilty. I'll come back, and it's like been a month, and I haven't answered their question. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I want to be active with the community. You should definitely react to the episodes Ladybug and Party Crasher. I've heard that I should react to Ladybug. I'm thinking about that one. Do you have a favorite character and story? Of what? I do. If you'd be my absolute favorite character of all time, that would be Spider-Man. My absolute favorite story of all time? That's a difficult one. For now, I might say either Avatar or Ender's Game. Cage, I think it really depends on the fan, but it is more common dependent on the fandom. Viren loves Claudia more because he sees her as a younger version of himself. I could buy that. Maybe he told the story more heroically to buy King's favorite. Yeah, I read that already. My water. My throat's getting parched. That's how I feel about SpongeBob. All the memes of the show I see every day on social media has made it impossible for me to like the show or watch it raw anymore. You like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? I just said my favorite character of all time is Spider-Man. Yes, I love Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is the only Spider-Man movie I've seen to get Peter Parker 100% correct. It's the only one. The original Raimi movies, They had a good Peter Parker, but they did not have a good Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man movies, they had an okay Spider-Man, but not a good Peter Parker. Good gravy, I hated Peter Parker in the first Amazing Spider-Man. I hated that character. And the current Spider-Man movies, it's more of a modern day Peter Parker than what Peter Parker used to be. Like, I'm fine calling him Peter Parker, but it's definitely not my Peter Parker, quote unquote. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is the only Spider-Man movie that got Peter Parker perfect. And it's not even about Peter Parker. That's the thing. Random question, but do you like Team Fortress 2? The comic strikes me as something you like. Well, I've seen I used to play the game. I don't play it anymore. I've never read the comics. You think Ezra would make dark magic illegal? I think it's possible. My stomach just growled. Thoughts on the Muppets, and what is your favorite Muppet movie, if you have one? I only have... I think I've seen 3 of the Muppet movies. My favorite Muppet movie is probably The Muppets. Just the one that came out with... where they were trying to stop an evil oil baron from demolishing the old studio, but that wasn't even that good. I like the concept. I love the concept of the Muppets. They're just these wacky guys who are just doing what they love, and pretty much all of them suck at it, but they don't care because they just do what they love. I love that concept. I love the songs from the Muppet movies more than I do the actual plot or anything. Favorite artist album, that's Lin-Manuel Miranda and Hamilton. Have you played Spider-Man game on PS4? If so, what did you think of it? I did not play it. The only thing I've seen from that game is the live dub. If you guys have never seen live dub channel, go watch it. It is hilarious. Oh my goodness, the Sonic 06 one. Oh my goodness. The Sonic 06 live dub just... I'm one of the few people who actually unironically like Sonic 06. So I know that plot by heart. And so just to see them live dub that whole thing was just great. What do you think of Far From Home? I really loved it. Again, okay. So I think it's fine. I think it's a fine movie. One thing that ticked me off about modern day Spider-Man, they got him perfect in Civil War, and then after that they slowly made him different. One thing they kept messing up on was his spider sense. Like he had it in Civil War, and then it was just gone. And then in Far From Home, suddenly they start mentioning it again. It's like, it feels like they just forgot it existed. Yeah, I'm not the hugest fan of modern Spider-Man. Like, I don't hate it. It's just not my type of Spider. It's like the cartoon Ultimate Spider-Man. Like, it's fine to watch, but it's not the one I grew up with. Do you like horror games? I like watching other people play them. I would love to, honestly, I would love to do Let's Plays. Like, I would love to, because I have my second channel. I would love to there's nothing on there, so don't ask for a link to it, because there's nothing on my second channel. But I would love to just, on my second channel, just play video games. But I don't have the proper setup. I used to have a desktop. I still have it, but it's really old, and I've been using this laptop for like the past 3 years to make my videos. So I would have to buy a desktop before I could get a setup for Let's Plays. Eggman has an announcement to make. Yes! I get it. I understood that reference. They made that reference in the Eggman versus Bowser rap battle. I was so happy to see it in there. Sonic 06 has a good story, bad gameplay, I hear. No! Sonic 06 has a bad everything. Everything. I like the story, personally. I personally like it, but it's still a horrible story. It is extremely... Sonic 06 is bad. It's one of the worst games of all time, but I still love playing it. Well, I don't know if we can say it's one of the worst of all time, because some people find it enjoyingly bad. I don't find it enjoyingly bad. I just find it enjoyable. But some people do find it enjoyingly bad. Sonic Boom was just bad. Sonic Boom was not enjoyably bad. It was just bad. Like, people were shocked that they could make something worse than Sonic 06. The 2011 reboot by Jason Segel, yes, that was a great movie. That's exactly portrayed how people didn't care about the Muppets anymore. And then show brought them back into the spotlight. I mean, it was an okay movie. Like, I don't think it was anything grand. It was just a nice time to be had. Perhaps start with like small games. Well, it's not the type of games. It's that my computer can't handle it. I can't handle streaming and doing something else at the same time because I'm working on my laptop. I need a desktop for the proper power, or a gaming laptop, something with more power. This laptop that I pretty much edit all my videos on is a pretty basic laptop. I bought it for a job that I wound up not doing, but it was better than the desktop I had at the time, so I started using it to make videos instead of my desktop. Dude, I love Snapcube's dub so much. I can't wait for Shadow the Hedgehog. I lost it when they sang If I Didn't Have... Yeah, Riders is another one I listen to all the time. Riders in 06, like... the other one is Resident Evil. Yes, Snapcube, they're hilarious. If you want to make a Let's Play channel but you have a laptop, maybe you could start with RPG Maker games and small file games. I don't know, because I can't even... I've tried streaming and just drawing on GIMP, and I've gotten severe lag. Like, in this stream, I get severe lag. You guys just can't see it because it's YouTube telling me it's visual lag. In my opinion, even if you like something that's so bad it's good, it's still more valuable than something that is bland and doesn't entertain you in any way. Yeah, that's most people's consensus. It's better to be horrible than it is to be forgettable. Which Spider-Man do you prefer? For me, I prefer Tobey and Andrew. Well, Prince Eric. That's the Spider-Man. When I'm reading comics, I hear the Prince Eric voice. But objectively speaking, if I get rid of my own bias, ignoring Into the Multiverse, the best media Spider-Man was Spectacular Spider-Man. Spectacular Spider-Man told a modern-day Spider-Man story and still kept the Spider-Man spirit. It was a fantastic show. I'm so mad that it got canceled because it left off on a cliffhanger, and I was so into what was happening. Can you play games on your laptop at all? Yeah, I can play games on my laptop. Again, I just can't stream while I'm playing them. I've tried streaming on Discord too while playing games, and it lags like crazy. If all else fails, record Call of Duty gameplay with your phone in the dark like it's 2010. I mean, no, I'm not going to do that. What do you think of Erebos? I think, again, I'm only in season 2. I think he's going to be an amazing villain. I'm hoping he's going to be the main antagonist. I love his voice. I cannot believe that is the same guy who does Three Dog. That guy has some talent. He's also the same guy who plays Ko from Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Face Stealer. I went back and listened to his voice. I was like, oh, wow. When is the next MLB episode rundown coming out? That's a difficult thing to answer. I've said this plenty of times, but I'll say it again. The episode rundowns are the easiest videos to make. If I wanted to, I could probably make like 3 of those a week. The problem is that they are also the least popular videos on the channel. I make them because I like to make them. They're fun. They relax me. But at the same time, I have to think of what my audience wants, and I can't flood them with videos they don't want to see. So I have to make sure there's plenty of content that people want before I can release a episode rundown. It's frustrating for those who love the MLP episode rundowns. I know. I love making them, and I have to wait before I can watch the next episode. But it is what it is, you know. Part of being a YouTuber is making what you love, and the other part is making what your audience wants. You got to find the right balance. It still amazes me Skips and Philo Orzai have the same actor, one who was in Star Wars at that. Skips, that name sounds familiar. I don't remember who it is. I think I spelled it wrong. I'm looking it up. Oh, yes, where you at? There you go. How far are you in the Futurama? I'm on season 5. Ah, that skips. Firelord Orzai. Oh, yeah. I should have known who you were talking about when you said Firelord Orzai, because that's Mark Hamill. Yeah, skips. Firelord Ozai, the Joker, and Luke Skywalker. What would you do if you were Harrow when the queen asked you to feed their kingdom? You were Harrow when the queen... Harold. Yeah, sorry. I thought his name was Harold. But what would I do if I was Harrow and the queen asked me to feed their... Okay, this is going to come up in the review, with spoilers. King Harrow has become my absolute least favorite character because of what he did. I cannot stand King Harrow. The queens come to him and say, hey, our people are starving, can you help us? And he says, yes, we'll just give you our food. And his advisor tells him, we can't do that. We cannot feed two kingdoms. He says, you made an honest mistake, but you'll have to reject them. And he says, nope, we're giving them all our food. That is a bad king. You do not, as king, you do not make your people suffer so other lands don't suffer. You take care of your people first, and then when that's situated, you try to find ways to help others if it is necessary. He should have said, we will put resources into helping your people, but he should not have given their people his food. That's what annoyed me with him. And then I thought about it because Viren was only looking into dark magic because Harold created these problems or jumped into these problems without a plan. And so now Viren is finding all these solutions, and Harold wants to get on his high horse and say, Viren, you're a disgusting person for using dark magic. I'm like, come on, man. Harold just, when I saw that flashback, I got so annoyed. I was so annoyed. Sorry. Bro, love your channel. Love from Spain. Thank you very much. But when I saw that flashback with Harrow, I just got so ticked off. And then his wife tried to say, hey, what if it's intelligent? What if this and that? And he's like, I don't care. It's like, what do you mean you don't care? You just had this whole speech about how justice is blind and it's not about how you're born or what position you're born. Like, you're supposed to treat everyone fairly. And you won't even think maybe this creature is intelligent? Like, oh my goodness. I have such a rant on this guy. Harold annoyed me so much in season 2. He still had some of, like, the best lines in season 2, though. What are your thoughts on Family Guy and Ruby? I hate Family Guy. I mean, it used to be good, but now it sucks. And Ruby, I've never seen. Sorry, that King Harold thing just made me go on a comment. I was just, I just got really ticked off. Like, that's something I've gotten upset at characters in cartoons before. When they are so eager to help other characters, they just jump into it, and it sort of kind of makes things worse. Thoughts on F is for Family? Thoughts on F is for Family? It's a show about your position in a family. Mainly it's talking about fatherhood and husbandhood, but it goes through all the positions. I think it has something interesting to give to the world, but I think it could be doing it better. Frank is just so unlikable in F is for Family, especially in season 4. Like, goodness gracious. Maybe he should have listened to his wife Sarai of finding other ways to feed the people. He could have asked other kingdoms for help or make truce with Zadia, although many say is a stupid idea. To me, it's not that he did something wrong. It's that he didn't take the time to consider his responsibilities. As king, you do not let your people suffer for other kingdoms. That's not what you do. And then you want to give this grand speech about how you want to be fair, and then somebody says, what if it's intelligent? And you say, oh, it's not. Because of what it is. Ugh. I've been wondering for a long time, why is there a giant marker connected to the back of the little cartoon Shady? Because I used to do a lot of drawing. I have a DeviantArt, and every time I mention that, people ask for a link to my DeviantArt, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat. I did a lot of drawing. It was a digital pen I put on his back. Mainly it's to stop him from, because a friend of mine, Mad Munchkin, she said when you're making characters, you want to make them not symmetrical. So I mainly gave him something that would make him not symmetrical. So I gave him something to carry on his back, but rather than a sword, it was a giant digital pen. Here, because I know people are going to ask, here's the link to my DeviantArt. I don't really draw anymore. I want to. I really want... Error. Just said error. Oh yeah, I don't think it'll let me post links. It's my freaking chat. What do you mean I can't post links? Error. Try again. Here you go. Nope. It's still not letting me do it. You guys can see it though, right? Yeah, it's just not letting me post chats, but it's DeviantArt, random person 1310. Thoughts on Death Battle, and do you like Sonic the Hedgehog and Devil May Cry? Hey, you're cheating. You're asking 3 questions. Thoughts on Death Battle. I'm fine with Death Battle. I used to love it. I used to absolutely love Death Battle. When they did the Goku versus Superman video, I fell in love with them because I saw how much research they did. They were still wrong about stuff, but I saw how much research they did. Then I started hating them because of the Gara versus Toph video. That video was so flat out wrong. That the Gara versus Toph video was the first video they ever did where I knew everything about both characters. And it was so bad. It was just so horrendously bad. Like, I just couldn't respect them anymore. Now I still watch it as entertainment, but I don't respect their research because of that. Oh man, my feelings are still hurt that they think Toph would beat Gara. Like, no. I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. I think it's one of the greatest shows. I think it is a better show, hands down, than Naruto. But Toph would not beat Gara. Gara would curb stomp Toph. Do you like Sonic the Hedgehog? Yes, I love Sonic the Hedgehog. And Devil May Cry. I don't really care for Devil May Cry. I don't dislike it, but I've never really played the games. Thoughts on Incredibles 2? It was an okay movie. It wasn't as good as the first one. I think PSA Sitch gave a good reason as to why. It's because one of the reasons is because the overall plot of the movie does not focus around Helen Parr's growth, whereas the first movie did focus on Bob's growth. Like the whole becoming the Incredibles was Bob letting someone else carry his title with him. That's why it's called The Incredibles, plural. Because at the beginning of the movie, he would not let Incrediboy share his title. And then throughout the movie, he learns to be part of a family, be part of an us, not just think about himself. Let his family help him in these situations. The second movie, Helen doesn't really go through any kind of journey like that. she's just going through it as a superhero, so it's not really that good. I loved Void. Void was my favorite part of The Incredibles too. Um, but yeah, do you like Breaking Bad? And I thought Frank was better in season 4. So was Kevin, and also a lot of other characters. But if I went by them, we'd be here all day. And you're friends with Mad Munchkin, cool. Uh, I like Breaking Bad? I've never seen it. I know its reputation. I've had plenty of opportunities to watch it. I just never did. Uh, you thought Frank was better in season 4? I did not. Kevin, I did think was better. Kevin, he was going down such a good life. He's still pretty much good on track. I'm kind of scared he's gonna make the same mistake his dad made and have a kid way too early because he's finally got his grades back up and he's being motivated by a girl. So and they were just about to do the hanky panky and when when they got interrupted. So they'll probably gonna do it again, or at least try to do it again. Post it in the description. Are you talking about my DeviantArt? I don't know why it's not letting me post stuff. I haven't seen Naruto, but I know Toph and Gar's powers are way different. But yeah, they are. Let me ask a different question in chat. What should I ask to chat? Because that Futurama question is old. Also, Futurama wasn't capitalized. Why didn't anybody tell me? Let's edit you. Think of a different question. What question should I ask, guys? I think it kind of stinks that they got rid of the name Screw Attack and just made the channel's death. Well, the whole company Screw Attack got bought out, and Craig was saying he's gonna miss it, but it's kind of inevitable because most of the Screw Attack content just wasn't hitting audiences anymore. Like Death Battle was the only one that was hitting audiences. I will ask. I will say, who is your favorite fictional character of all time? Oh no, it's too big! Must fix size. Okay. You and Jar still cool, as far as I know. Do you plan on making more of those Bojack in a Nutshell videos? They were pretty funny. In a Nutshell videos, yes. I actually have a script in the works. I don't know if I'm going to go back to Bojack. Or if I do, I don't know if it's going to be episodes. That's another one of those scripts where they used to just come to me. And now I sit down and try to write them. And for some reason, it just doesn't... My brain just doesn't want to work with it. I think... I read that. Do you like The Office? Yes, I find it funny. Which one do you like better? The Simpsons, Futurama, or Disenchantment? Futurama. I have barely seen any of The Simpsons, and Disenchantment, as I've shown on the channel, I'm not the biggest fan of. Like, I liked the end of Season 1, and that was pretty much it. And some parts of Season 2. What did you think Bojack's theme of him having power over women in the last season? I didn't see it, to be honest. He had power over everyone, not just women. This is the opinions I get in trouble for. Bojack did have power over... I've said this before. It is factually true that Bojack does have power over women, but when you state it like that, you are missing huge chunks of the argument. Bojack has power over everyone, and he treats certain people certain ways. He's attracted to women, so he's going to treat women in certain ways. He's going to want to sleep with them. He's going to want that. He's going to want to take advantage of them in that way because he's attracted to them. He is not attracted to men. He will still take advantage of men, just not in that way. So yes, he does have power over women, quote unquote. But again, it misses a huge part of the conversation if you just say that. Yeah, those are the kind of opinions I get in trouble for. Since you made a best BoJack episodes list, what you think the top 5 worst episodes lists? I think 10 episodes is too much. 5 episodes might be too much for me. I don't like Prickly Muffin. Mainly because I think it destroys the relationship between BoJack and Sarah Lynn. When you put the relationship of everything that happened as a whole, Prickly Muffin just utterly destroys it. I also don't like Brat Brat Pew Pew because it doesn't make sense to me that Mr. Peanut Butter wouldn't want a child. I only think they did that so that the issue of the episode would be what they wanted it to be instead of whether or not Diane should get her abortion. Mr. Peanut Butter Mr. Peanut Butter wants relationships. No matter how superficial they are, he wants them. And I don't think he would make a good dad, but I think he would, just like he only sees the surface goods of having a wife, he would only see the surface goods of having a child, and he would want one. But they just made him not want one because it fit well with the story they were trying to tell. What are the chances for the Murphy kids leave Frank in retirement home like Bojack and Homer did to their parents? I don't think Frank would be willing to go to a retirement home. Frank is he's too proud of himself. He'd be like his dad. He would be working until his death. My favorite character of all time is probably Abed from Community, if we talk live action, but animated, it probably has to go to Spike from Cowboy Bebop. Well, it's from of all time. It doesn't have to be animated. Master Chief from Halo. Oh, you know what? Let me add something to this. There you go. Mr. Peanut Butter reminds me of that one C in Happiness short where the parents are getting a divorce. But that's like, you're getting a raise in allowance. Nah, that would need context. Who is your favorite character in F Is for Family? Probably, because I don't like a whole lot of them, but it would probably be Kevin. Originally, when they had Kevin, he was such an interesting character, because he was known as, like, the first episode, Kevin, what does he do? He's known as this bad child. They keep saying he's the bad child. He goes and he makes out with this girl. His sister comes and asks him to save his younger brother, which he does. When he comes to Jimmy is so afraid of Kevin's reputation, he wets his pants. Kevin beats the crap out of him and then punches his little brother. And then in the same episode, he takes the rep for his little brother for breaking the TV. Kevin was such an interesting character in that first episode. Like, he was this bully, but still cared about people. And then they changed it from him being like this juvenile bully to being this weird juvenile who just didn't like working, who was just lazy. I still like his character more than the others, but that first episode, Kevin, like, I was ready to do a video on him. Hello, Shady. This is the President of the United States. I just wanted to tell you that your channel is tremendous. Keep up the good work. Make YouTube great again. Also, if you do a poor impression of me, I will dislike this video. Do you like Parks and Recreation? I do like Parks and Recreation. Unless that's a show, in which case I don't know what that is. Did Gina tell everyone about Bojack almost killing her, or just had common ground with Kelsey? We don't know. That's the thing. We don't know. I'm pretty sure they were gonna go into it, but they freaking ran out of time. Parks and Recreation is a yeah. I was making a joke. Thoughts on Mr. Ender's new video of him canceling admirable animations? I have not seen it. I didn't know he made a new video. Um, I don't blame him because, like, no, uh, animated atrocities just get so much more views than his admirable animations. It's just whenever you watch a whenever you watch a Mr. Enter live stream, he always sounds so drained. And people were saying like he might want to keep admirable animations just so he's not always looking at negativity stuff. I don't know. I don't know the guy personally. He is a big inspiration when it comes to my content. So I'm not. I can't say I wouldn't do different if I was him, unless I just liked making admirable animations. Because if I really like doing something, even if it's not getting views, I'm still gonna do it. I just won't do it as frequently. But I can't say I blame him. You know, as a business move, it's not a bad idea. I think he should have something that's not just animated atrocities, just to have some diversity on his channel. Have you seen Community? I have not. If you haven't, you should. It's now on Netflix, and I think you will like it. I think Holly would bottle her feelings up while Penny would feel guilty. Oh, I missed the question. Could Hollyhock and Penny feel guilty? Okay, it's time for a different song. I'm bored of this one. I don't even know if you guys can hear it. That volume was so low. From personal experience, that's manipulative. I keep missing the context. Could Hollyhock and Penny feel guilty of Bojack almost dying for not answering his calls and pushing him to suicide? If he called them, they might. I don't. I don't know if they do or don't. I don't know how much they still care about him. I mean, Penny was on the borderline of hating Bojack, and Hollyhock, it's very difficult to see how she felt. I haven't been able to hear music at all. Yeah, okay. I've had it super low, so I didn't want it over drowning what I was saying. But the music I have on here varies in volume. So sometimes it'll be at regular level, and then sometimes it'll be super low. So I think you should be able to hear it now. Again, I don't want it to like overshadow my voice. I also forget that these freaking bars, unless it goes up to yellow, like you can almost, you pretty much can't hear it. Community is easily one of the best sitcoms ever put to pen and paper. But Bojack reminds me of my dad, so I always rooted for him, even if he was a smelly person. Well, anybody who is trying to improve, I root for. Like, I want to see people get better. You know, I had my grievances with freaking Diane, but I kept saying the whole time, I want her to get better. If she's trying to get better, I want her to succeed in doing that. And I was actually very happy when she actually did. You've been here for a while. Yeah, it's almost been 2 hours. I mean, it's just a chill stream. And really have... I don't have the thing done to work on the video I want to work on, so And I've been meaning to do a live stream for a while, so I was like, well, since I don't have the video done, and I want to do a live stream, I might as well do the live stream. And this song I'm eliminating from the list because it loops way too soon. This song is only 36 seconds long. Let's see what it sounds like when it loops. You think season 6 being split into 2 parts was because the team needed to rewrite the events of season 6 since the show got canceled? Yes. I like how Bojack Horseman writes bad people, but we always root for them. Because they're still portrayed as people. Like, this is something I really want people to understand. Most people are people. Like, even the evil ones are still people. Like, there are such things as villains. There are such things as people who just want to do bad, and they do bad for the sake of being bad. They exist. But a lot of people, nowadays especially, treat somebody with what they deem as an evil action or an evil thought or an evil saying as someone who just ultimately can't be trusted. They're evil, they can't come back, they're doing bad, blah, blah, blah. You know, and it annoys me. Like, I understand wanting justice, but it's more of a revenge mentality. It's too easy to treat people like they're Saturday morning villains. Like, no matter what they're going to do, it's eventually going to lead to our demise. That's how people go about it nowadays. And it's like, they're not Saturday morning villains. They're people. Perhaps the 17 minutes were for nothing. They still found out he drugged Sarah Lynn and went to jail for it. If he'd taken her to the hospital right away, she would be alive and he would still go to jail less time. Well, as I said before, a meta reason I think they did the 17 minutes was to make you, the audience, feel less sympathy for Bojack. They needed to make his actions seem way worse because by this point, most people were on Bojack's side. But if you're looking at an in-story reason, a lot of people say he might not have known she was still alive. It's like, whatever. I don't even want to come close to trying to justify waiting 17 minutes. I can explain the reason. You know, he wasn't in his right mind. Do you have a favorite archetype and trope? I know there are the main archetypes, but I don't know what they are. My favorite archetype, which is not one of the main ones, is the suffering paragon. It's the person who's really good at stuff to the public, but you can the audience of the whatever story you're watching, the reader, the watcher, whatever, can see that they are paying a price for it. Like they are suffering for their perfection. What video game soundtracks do you like? Zelda. 100% The Legend of Zelda. I love Zelda soundtrack. Any anime you watch other than Agretsuko? Not really, because I fell out of anime. What could get me back into anime is if I can find the complete collection of Detective Conan somewhere. Have you seen Daria New? Stomach's growling again. I specifically ate before streaming so this wouldn't happen. Have you seen Callum's Dark Magic Coma? Yes, I've seen all of Season 2 of The Dragon Prince. Yo, Majora and Ocarina are the greatest of all time. Yep. Well, Ocarina... So there's the ever debate which is the best Zelda. And the 4 contenders seem to be A Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and Breath of the Wild. I didn't play Breath of the Wild, so I can't say anything about it. In that case, what's your favorite Zelda soundtrack? I'm not really a Zelda fan, so I can't say. I will answer that question in a second, but I want to finish my thought. A Link to the Past took a huge leap from its predecessors and basically structured what Zelda is known for. Ocarina of Time influenced adventure games in general. So many adventure games took things from Ocarina of Time. Majora's Mask didn't really influence other games. It was just a good game. Like, I think of those 3, Majora's Mask is objectively the better game, but it didn't have as big of an influence as those other 2. So it really is difficult to say which is the greatest Zelda game of all time. My favorite Zelda soundtrack, I think objectively Wind Waker had the best music. I love Wind Waker's music. But I have certain nostalgia when it comes to certain songs. Majora's Mask gives me a lot of nostalgia, but I don't think I really like listening to Majora's Mask songs. That is a difficult question. Because I don't really listen to Zeldas individually. I just listen to Zelda songs in general. In that case, what's your favorite Zelda? I just said that. Yeah, I just read that. Best Zelda is Wind Waker. Fight me. Okay. Wind Waker has that long section where you have to find the Triforce pieces. It is not properly set up. Now, the remake does a better job of it, but the original Wind Waker did not properly set this up. Wind Waker also has a lot of islands that you think will be cool to explore, but then you find out that you had to go there anyway. I love Wind Waker. Don't get me wrong, but I would not say it's the best Zelda. I would say Majora's Mask is, and that's mainly because I haven't played Skyward Sword. I haven't played past Skyward Sword. I played Skyward Sword. I haven't played past Skyward Sword. I think Ocarina personally, Majora objectively. Okay. Breath of the Wild is my strong number 2. Wind Waker is maybe my favorite. I have an interesting opinion. I don't know how many people are going to agree with me. I supremely dislike Skyward Sword. Very much. I think it is objectively the worst Zelda game. Not counting the CDIs. I think it's actually worse than Zelda 2. Zelda 2 I don't even think is really that bad. It's just super hard. I actually get mad because I watch Game Grumps and I love their Zelda videos, but freaking Aaron is so bad at explaining why games are bad. Like every Zelda video, he's like, oh, this is bad because of this, and then you can see he's just bad at playing the game. And I actually agree with him with the Skyward Sword thoughts, but he's so bad at proving it. What do you think Viren is going to do with the Smoke Elf Assassins? I think he's going to have them wreak havoc in the other kingdoms. People are going to see them and be like, wow, Viren was right. War is upon us. We need to put him in charge. Ever played Final Fantasy? No. I'm not a big JRPG guy. I hate Skyward Sword 2. Favorite is Twilight Princess. I love Twilight Princess. Objectively, it's not the strongest Zelda. But I think it gave us closure to Ocarina of Time. Because a lot of people felt like Ocarina of Time needed a proper sequel. Majora's Mask is a fantastic game, but it didn't have the same spirit as Ocarina of Time. And a lot of people just kept comparing Zelda games to Ocarina of Time. I think Twilight Princess gave us that closure we needed. There's a Game Grumps compilation called Aaron Sucks at Video Game. I mean, it's not so much that he sucks, it's that while he's playing, he's not concentrating on what he's doing. So, because it's Game Grumps, they're constantly talking to each other. And so, while he's playing, he will say, this game sucks, look at this example. And everybody watching is like, no, you're just not doing what they told you to. Like freaking Majora's Mask, they still haven't finished it. And he got mad because one of the final bosses was taking away like 4 hearts per hit. And everybody's like, you skipped finding most of the heart pieces. You skipped finding most of the power-ups. Like, what did you expect to happen? This is the end of the game. It's gonna be hard, and you skipped getting all the stuff that makes it less difficult. You should watch Matthew Matosis for game breakdowns. I have. I've seen all of his Zelda ones. I agree so much on Skyward Sword. If you want my opinions on Skyward Sword, just watch Matthew Matosis' video. I would say 97.5% of the stuff he says, I agree with. Good gravy. It's so catharsis to watch his video because he says everything I felt while I was playing that game. Like, goodness gracious. I know people who think Twilight Princess is just a better Ocarina of Time. Well, they're allowed to think that, but I disagree. Lemon J4, 64, and Some Call Me Johnny are a lot better at Sonic and more fair to him than Game... I mean, the Game Grumps are funny, so I try not to riff on them too much, because they're entertaining. But it's just... Whenever Aaron makes a critique, he's proving himself wrong in the game, and while you watch him prove himself wrong, and it just annoyed me when he got to Skyward Sword because I wanted people to see what was wrong with Skyward Sword. How good would a Bojack Horseman season be that takes place during the pandemic? I don't know. I don't think they would do that because modern politics, modern big politics, they don't really throw in there. Like a controversy with a specific thing they don't do. They do general politics. Hot take, Twilight Princess is the worst 3D Zelda. Well, I would say the worst Zelda in general is Skyward Sword, so by default that makes it the worst 3D Zelda as well. How come you think Harrow knows about Erebos and Villainy? Harrow. Why do you think Harrow... I keep saying Harrow like I'm freaking watching Beastars. Harrow knows about Erebos and Villainy doesn't. Because Harrow was able to research... once Villainy started researching Erebos, the thing started disappearing. So, what are your thoughts on Disney redoing films like Lion King and Aladdin? Are you talking about the live-action remakes? Well, I'm a critic, so pretty much the same thoughts as every other critic. They suck. The live-action I'm fine with if they do something different. Even if they're not that good, I'm fine if they do something different. 101 Dalmatians, which was the old one, that... For some reason, we all like that one, even though it's not that different. But Alice in Wonderland, I think is fine. Like, I don't think it's the best movie ever, but I think it's fine. They tried to have a new take on it. The Jungle Book, I think they did enough different that it can be its own thing. It's not trying to be the original Jungle Book. Now, The Lion King, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, no. Like... They're not even trying to do anything. Dumbo, kind of, sort of, but I don't think it needed to exist. Cinderella, I think, is different enough. What's your favorite video game and why? Majora's Mask, because it's an extremely well-built game as well as nostalgia. I used to say this all the time. Majora's Mask is one of the few games I've ever played where you can replay the entire game over again without actually having to start over. Like you just play the Song of Time, you have all your masks, you can play the entire game all over again. Explora Dig Gamer and King K are great video game viewers, and I highly recommend watching them. My favorite video game channel right now, well, I probably watch the Game Grumps most right now, but for a long time I've watched this YouTuber called Many a True Nerd. I love most of his old stuff is what I watch, but whenever he puts out new videos every day, so but I just love his old Fallout playlists and stuff, and some of his documentaries that he has, like why Fallout 3 is better than you think, or the history of the speech system. But I just like his old playlists, like his Kill Everything. If you've never seen his Fallout 3 Kill Everything, if you've never seen Many a True Nerd, and you're only going to watch one playlist, make it Fallout 3 Kill Everything. It's such a good playlist. But I've also watched like his Hitman stuff and a bunch of other stuff he's done. Many a True Nerd makes great Fallout videos. Yeah, he's known as the Fallout guy, which makes me feel bad because as being known as the Bojack guy, you kind of want to get out of that bubble. Of course, whenever he makes a Fallout video, it makes bank, but the rest of his videos don't do as well. But my favorite playlists of his are his Fallout ones, of course. His Hitman one, his original, his Hitman 3, his Hitman 3, Hitman Blood Money, his Hitman 2, and what's that game called? I can't remember what it's called. I watch it all the time. I can't remember what it's called. Zack and York. Who knows what I'm talking about? Zack and York. If you recognize those names, you should know what I'm talking about. Deadly Premonition. There you go. Deadly Premonition. I post you guys a link, but they're not letting me post links in my own chat. Maybe I have in settings that nobody's allowed to post links. Soren is also like Zuko because in the hospital he said he tried so hard to give her his love and respect. He thought he would get it if he betrayed his friends. To me that felt rushed. I mean, I love when Soren is in the hospital and he's crying, but it really felt rushed. Like, he didn't really seem like he was guilty when he was trying to freaking kill the princess. I think Chaka Conroy makes a good case for Skyward Sword while still acknowledging the game's many flaws. I meant to watch Chaka Conroy's Skyward Sword playthrough, and I never got around to it. You played the Mega Man Legends series? No, I haven't played any Mega Man games. Well, the people I talked about are people who deeply analyze video games rather than do Let's Plays. I mean, I used to watch some people who do that. Ocarina of Time was the first game I ever beat when I was 6. I watched the Super Best Friends playthrough at Deadly Premonition. It's a shame they don't upload anymore. I don't watch Super Best Friends, but I've seen Super Best Sisters. That's the only reason I know what Super Best Friends is. Because what is it? Two best sisters, I think is what it's called. Do you watch Super Eye Patch Wolf? Never heard of it. That almost feels like you're messing with me, Super Eye Patch Wolf. Marine would get in a toxic relationship with Bridget. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Hi, what's up? What's up, Darkosaurus 65? That ended abruptly. Bubsy Bugcat. The guy is hated, ignored for stupid reasons, even though his first games were pretty good, even if hard. Bubsy. Ever heard or played Hollow Knight? I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is. Oh, he's a YouTuber. I'm Emulator Nerd. I didn't know he was a YouTuber. I thought you were saying, like, I thought it was a show. Like, yeah, as a YouTube name, Super Eye Patch Wolf. Yeah. And you're right. Shady Doorags doesn't sound any better. Like, a lot of the best YouTube names are, like, just really stupid sounding ones. When do you think your Star vs. the Forces of Evil is going to release? I'm honestly not sure. Like, I was planning. The reason I announced it is because I was planning on releasing it in a couple of weeks. But once I finished the script, I was like, holy dongles, this is a long project. Can't stay here long. Well, thanks for dropping by. I appreciate people taking time out of the day to come and check out the stream. I also partially relate to him since I myself almost never talk to anyone. But you can blame social media addiction and autism for that. Well, I am an introvert, so I don't like talking to people. Well, I'm an asocial, antisocial introvert. There is such thing as a social introvert, but they're very rare because social activity is an extrovert type of thing. Do you watch Mario plush videos? In my opinion, the only good Mario plush channel is Palutena's Guardian. He is really funny and has surprisingly good stories. I do not. Sup, Kick? Dude, some of the best game music comes from a channel called Poo Poo Fart. Names are meaningless to me now. I'm a social introvert. Yeah, I believe it. I believe you. I believe social introverts exist. It's like I said in my B-Stars video. They exist. Being asocial or antisocial is not a synonym for being an introvert. Most introverts are that, but they're not synonyms. Being an introvert is about reserving energy. You prefer to reserve energy. You do things that exhibit that kind of atmosphere, like reading a book or watching something on TV or drawing or something to that nature. That's what relaxes you. Being an extrovert is about pushing the energy outward. It's about getting the energy out of you. You like to go out. You like to be among other people and interact with them. Just because you said they were rare, I thought I'd bring it up. Yeah, they are rare, but you know that's just the nature of things. Have you watched The Good Doctor? No, I have not. I want to become more social and meet more people since I'm starting college soon, but unfortunately, you know what happened? I'm taking classes at home. Oh my goodness, Pete of Dawn. So, I was I starting middle school. I started becoming more and more antisocial. Mainly because I started seeing how fake people were. Because once you get to middle school, those innocent kids who are your friends, they for some reason just become wild children. And I was like, you were not like this before. And I just realized how people were being so fake. So throughout middle school and high school, I slowly became more antisocial. College came, and I said, you know what? I've never tried a social life. I've never tried being a social person. Well, not since elementary school, but that's when you're a kid, so it doesn't count. So when I was in college, I was super social. Like, I was like, I'm going to try this lifestyle and see if it makes me happy. And, like, we had events, and I was going to events, and I was shouting, and I was, like, hollering, and everybody loved me. Everybody loved me as this outgoing guy. And I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I was like, oh my goodness, this lifestyle sucks. It's not that it sucked. It's just it wasn't me. I didn't like doing it. I didn't like putting my energy out there. I preferred reserving it in. So I was like, okay, now I know. Now I've tried the lifestyle. I know it's not just because it's different. It's not just because it's hard. Because I was good at it. I was good at being social. I just don't like it. So I was like, okay, it's official. I'm not social. It's official. I love your Bojack Horseman videos, and since that day Bojack H ends, I was so sad because I watched this series in 3 days. Aww. So you just got on the train. And I jumped on the train right before season 4 started. And season 4 actually came out while I was in the middle of binging the rest of the show. Middle school, what's that? I don't know if you're in America or not. For America, it's like between the ages of 10 and 13. It's like, there's children, there's kids, and then there's teenagers. Kids is middle school. Thoughts on the Toy Story franchise? Toy Story 1 was a masterpiece. Toy Story 2 pushed it even further. Toy Story 3, I think, pushed it even further, but I have to admit, Your Movie Sucks makes a great argument of how it's just Toy Story 2 repackaged. I still love the movie. It still made me cry multiple times. But he makes a good argument. And then nobody asked for Toy Story 4 and they brought it out anyway. I agree with the nostalgia critic. If they had simply called it Woody the Cowboy instead of Toy Story 4, and they focused on it being about Woody, people would have been fine with it. But I haven't even seen Toy Story 4. I was just so mad. I was like, I'm not giving that my money. I could probably watch it now because I would, with all the streaming services, I wouldn't be specifically giving it my money, but I don't know. I don't even want to watch it. This is kind of depressing, but the reason why I'm not social is because when I was a kid, I was not shy at all and always tried talking to people, but no one talked to me, so I never got the experience. There is a My Little Pony episode that addresses that. It's called Amending Fences, and it talks about how some people, they tried being social and they got hurt, and they don't want to get hurt again. So they just stop being social. And it's about, the fear of failure, which I talk about a lot on this channel. And I understand that. I don't like it when people think that's the only reason somebody's antisocial. I think in season 3 of Rick and Morty, the family got an extreme therapy from Rick. Summer is less clout chasing. Beth tries not to be a psychopath. Jerry being a coward and Morty being a slave doormat. Okay, that wasn't a question, so I was prepared to answer a question. Have you heard of Bee and Puppycat? I have not. I'm a British boy. I know what it is. LOL. We just take the 2 years spent in middle school and put them into high school. 7 years in elementary, 6 in high school. Shows you liked as a kid but hate now. Preschool shows don't count. That is a good question. Because I don't... nostalgia has a big hold on me. Shows I liked as a kid but hate now. I don't really care for Beyblade. I don't hate it, but I used to love Beyblade as a kid because I felt like it was going to be the next Yu-Gi-Oh! But nowadays I don't care for it. I have a list of old shows. Let me see if I can find it so I can think of some. Okay, go here. My list. Do not play it because I will get copyright struck. No, don't play it. Shut up. I just want to see the list. Alright, let's look at this list. Alright. DuckTales, still fine with. Pinky and the Brain, still fine with. Chippendale, still fine with. That's So Raven. I'm still fine with that. Lamb Chop, I never actually watched it. Shaman King, never watched it. Bear in Big Blue House, still fine. Bill Nye, still fine. Goof Troop, still fine. Full House, still fine. Tiny Toons, I absolutely love Tiny Toons. Gummy Bears. I can't remember Gummy Bears. I remember watching it, but I can't remember it. Cory in the House, I don't really care for. Yeah, that anime wasn't that good. Love Animaniacs. Like, I still love Animaniacs. Lizzie McGuire. I don't know if I still like Lizzie McGuire. I probably wouldn't because I don't like teenage rom-coms. Yu Yu Hakusho, I love. Wishbone, I don't know. Teen Titans, I still love. Wishbone's a preschool show, doesn't count. Big Comfy Couch is a preschool show, doesn't count. Liberty's Kids, I would probably hate Big Bad Beetleborgs if I saw it again. Goodbye, Dark Source. Thanks for stopping by. Do you have cartoon shows that people love but you hate? I will answer that in a moment. I want to keep looking at this, though. Emperor's New School, I still like. Dave the Barbarian, I still like. Digimon, One Piece. Baby Looney Tunes. I think I would still like Baby Looney Tunes if I saw it, but people have made a good argument of why it's not a good show. Freakazoid, I still like. Zoom. I probably wouldn't like Zoom if I saw it again. Replacements, I still like. Spider Riders. Spider Riders sucks. I only liked it because the intro had a rap song in it. Speaking of which, Danny Phantom, still a great show, even though season 3 is horrible. Darkwing Duck, still like. Arthur, still like. Dragon Tales, I still like. American Dragon, I always felt meh about American Dragon. Hamtaro, still the greatest show that ever existed. Inspector Gadget, meh. Alvin and the Chipmunks, I don't think I would like Alvin and the Chipmunks. It's kind of too calm. Scooby-Doo, yeah, I'm fine with that. The original, not the original, but the 2005 version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know if I would like that as much. Mary-Kate and Ashley shows, I used to watch those a lot. I don't know if I would like those. A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, love that one. Dexter's Lab, I still like. Ultimate Muscle, not sure. Captain Planet, I still love. Well, I ironically like Captain Planet. House of Mouse, still love. Stanley, I still like. Pappy Land, I miss that show so much. Oh, that's a preschool show, doesn't count. Stanley is also a preschool show. PBJ Otter, preschool show, doesn't count. Butt Ugly Martians. I would probably hate Butt Ugly Martians. I loved it as a kid, though. Code Lyoko, still love. Phil the Future would still love. Choxel, still love. 16, still love. Backyardigans, I still love. Alright. Sue, somebody asked something else. Is there a show that people love but you hate? That I hate? That is a difficult one because I don't know if there are any shows that I hate. I mean, I didn't really like Uncle Grandpa, but I don't think a lot of people like that show. I had problems with Tuca and Birdie, but I didn't hate it. Korra annoyed me, but there's like half the fandom was annoyed by Korra. So I don't think that's a fair one. What is a cartoon that I like, that I hate, but everyone else likes? I don't really keep in my brain the stuff I hate when it comes to cartoons. It's so weird. I have not seen WB's adult animation lineup. What dark cartoon episode do you like? Pretty much everything from Courage the Cowardly Dog and everything from Invader Zim. I like when Tiny Toons, They Drink Beer, and Static Shock got an racism episode. When Tom and Jerry are going to die. Static Shock, I remember that one. Static Shock tended to handle episodes pretty good. I remember the Tiny Toons one. I didn't really care for it that much. Like I said, everything from Courage and everything from Invader Zim, except the pimple episode of Invader Zim. I hate gross stuff. I don't like gross out. And Miraculous, do you think that the Kwamis should get an evolution, like in Pokemon, when you reach a high enough friendship level? Well, they do have an evolution, but it's more like in Digimon. You feed them, and then they evolve into something temporarily. I don't really... They've introduced too much in Miraculous for me to want more. I don't want more powers and more superheroes. I want them to focus on what they have. They have a superhero team, they just don't use them. They have secret powers, they just don't use them. Do you have any guilty pleasure episodes in shows that you like? Not that I can think of. I like the Arthur episode about the school catching on fire. Yeah, that's... Well, I never saw that one. I only saw a review of that one. Have you heard of The Loud House? I have indeed heard of The Loud House. I started watching it when it was getting popular, and then I stopped. I thought thought it was a very funny show when I was watching it. Okay, let me close that list. With Harrow's letter, there is more emphasis on why he felt he deserved to die. I'm gonna be honest, the Backyardigans is better than most Nicktoons ever made. I mean, I fell in love with the Bubble Guppies, and that wasn't as a kid. Like, as a freaking adult, I would come home and there would be this show about little mer children just singing, and I'm like, this is captivating. Can you change this song? Yeah, I can do that. Change. Pete doesn't like you. Oh, crap. I forgot to, I just stopped it. I didn't actually change it. This one's a little louder. Turn down the volume. The volume's already super. It's difficult to tell because there's like 3 different volumes for the music. Did you ever get to see Hamilton live? Well, I saw it on Disney Plus. I didn't get to actually see the play. Like, I was planning on going to see the play, but then the whole thing happened. Have you seen Winx Club? People say it's a girl show, but it was pretty good. When it was out, I was a young dude, so I stayed far away from it. And then suddenly, as an adult, I see people say like, "Oh, the Winx Club, yeah, people should really check out that show." I'm like, what is happening? I mean, just because something was a girl show doesn't mean I wouldn't watch it. Like, I was perfectly fine watching Totally Spies, but if it was really girly, like, I tended to not check it out. Like, My Little Pony, the only reason I watched it was because Death Battle made it seem like it was going to be about superhero ponies, and I felt tricked. Okay, I'm skipping this song. We've heard this one already, so... No, we're not listening to that one. I think we've gone through all the songs. Here, I'll leave it on this cosmic music one. Shows that get canceled, you want to see get a revival or reboot. It's funny that you ended that sentence with reboot, because I did want to see a good reboot of Reboot. Not that horrible nonsense we got, like, what was it, like 4 years ago? I don't remember. But that stupid live-action kid nonsense that Netflix tried to do. Like, Reboot was a good show. Even by today's standards, like, okay, by today's standards, there are some things wrong with it other than just the animation. I'm talking about plot-wise. But still, it had some of the best storytelling I've seen. So, some storytelling moments I've seen since. Thoughts on Steven Universe and Steven Universe Future? I've not seen Steven Universe Future because I stopped caring about Steven Universe. Steven Universe in itself, I thought was pretty good, but I just kind of fell out of it for no reason. Well, there were reasons, primarily Teen Titans Go. The Backyardigans could have been Nicktoons. It had so many unique themes to keep people older than the target audience captivated. I respect that, man. We all like what we like, and you should not feel bad for liking it. Well, there are some things that you should feel bad for liking, but I don't think liking a children's show is one of them. Who's your favorite and least favorite character from Agretzko? Least favorite character is Anai. He annoys me very, very much. Most favorite character, that's difficult to say. I really love Retzko, and I really love Fenico. But I also really liked. I really relate to. Crap, I can't remember his name. Retzko's boyfriend at the end of season 2. The donkey. I really related to him. Just how he hated the modern day work system, and he just wanted people to be able to follow their dreams. Man, I felt that. And just how he felt like he couldn't tie his life down. I mean, personally, I could tie my life down. You know, I could get married to somebody, but I understood why he felt that wasn't his kind of life. Did you know Pablo in Backyardigans was voiced by Aang? I have mentioned it before because he sounds just like him. Are you gonna review B&A? I might. Mainly because it's a bandwagon. It doesn't look interesting to me, but it's a bandwagon on YouTube, so that's worth somewhat checking it out. I love your Bojack review series, bro. Thank you very much. I'm not sure which Bojack review series you're talking about. That is a joke that no one is going to get because I told it very poorly. My Bojack videos are more of not really analysis, but yeah, I guess they're more analysis than review, but whatever. I tried to tell a joke and it sucked. What's your opinion on more representation of physical disabilities in cartoons besides wheelchairs, examples, characters having prosthetics or deaf, blind, etc.? Okay, I understand that representation is an important part of media. So people are going to want characters to have certain traits to them. My thought process is, do not make that trait the thing that makes their character. Don't do that. You can have a character that happens to be whatever you're trying to represent, whether it be physical disabilities or sexual orientations or race or whatever. You could have that thing, just don't make it what makes that character special. Like, there was one character in Kim Possible who was in a wheelchair, and Kim felt awkward around him. Ron didn't. And what made that kid special was not his wheelchair. It was the fact that he had access to awesome technology. His wheelchair was actually a super advanced wheelchair. And he himself was just an awesome dude. And the whole point of that episode was to see past his wheelchair. If you could rewrite one Miraculous episode, what episode would it be, and how would you make it go? Probably the Zappities, and here's why. If in the Zappities we have Marinette not tell Alia that she has to give back the Miraculous, then that would in suit make it so the other Miraculous characters wouldn't have to give back their Miraculouses. Another candidate would be Queen Wasp, because Chloe should not have revealed who she is, because that pretty much sank any chance of her getting to keep that Miraculous. And I just want these characters to keep their powers. I want them to keep their Miraculouses. I absolutely hate this secret identity stuff. Like, I don't mind that they have a secret identity. I hate that they keep it from each other. That Marinette and Master Fu are the only two who are allowed to know people's secret identities. And it's so annoying. And I hate that the others don't get to keep their powers. Because Marinette is not that good that she can make these types of decisions. Why have you not talked about the Midnight Gospel yet? Because I don't know what it is. Worst and best games you've played. The best game? Well, there are a lot of really good games out there. Majora's Mask is what I talk about. I think one of the best games ever made is just Skyrim, because it just appeals to a universal audience, but it still feels personal. Objectively, the best game ever made, I think, is Super Mario Brothers. Just because, A, for its time, and B, the influence it had on the gaming industry. Worst game. The worst game, to my mind, that I've ever played. See, the thing is, technically, Sonic 06 is a really bad game, but I loved playing it. There's only one game I can think of that I just did not like playing, and that was Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Tenkaichi. Me and my brother, we were huge Budokai fans. And we played Budokai 1 through 3 and Tenkaichi 1 through 3. We also played, I think it was Burst Limit, it was what it's called. Then I went away to college, and I came back, and he had like 3 or 4 Dragon Ball Z games that came out. And he had Ultimate Tenkaichi, and we were like, oh, it's a Dragon Ball Z game, it's going to be good. We haven't played a bad one yet. And he put it in. It was so boring. Like, the whole fun of shonen games, any shonen games, whether it's Dragon Ball Z or a Naruto game, you know, the whole fun is that it's fast-paced chaos. It's fast-paced, organized chaos. You have to react in the moment. This Dragon Ball Z game was so slow. Like, you had to build up ki over time. Sometimes the camera would change perspective if you got close enough. And then you would do something like, when you finally got enough ki, you charge a blast and throw it, and the character would stare at the camera and say, what should I do? And if you gathered enough energy, you could just dodge it, or you could take it, or you could blast back. It's like, that's not how a Dragon Ball Z game should be. You should be acting in the moment. You should be reacting. You should be constantly reacting to what's going on. Who is your favorite Miraculous hero? Well, I have a bias for Queen Bee. So it's probably going to be unfairly Queen Bee. I gotta say though, I really do like Lady Noir, and I really do. I have a weaknesses for foxes as well. So Rena Rouge, just on the premise that she's a fox, they all have wonderful designs. They really do. I'm actually disliking Cat Noir's design more and more now, because his bell just doesn't match. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is a great game. I recommend playing it if you have it. I need to get back into gaming in general. Sonic Generations is my fave. It's a great game. I have Sonic Generations. Do you play Animal Crossing? No, I do not, sadly. It seems like a game I would really like if I got into it. I need to get back into gaming. I'm not into gaming right now. The games I play now are Fallout 4, which, no, is not as good as Fallout New Vegas. League of Legends, and Planet Base. Those are like the 3 games I play. If you like foxes, do you like Fox and the Hound? It's alright. I mean... I like the design of the foxes. Since you don't know what it is, Midnight Gospel is a Netflix original that came out in April and talks about life, death, and everything in between, especially episode 8. Okay, I'm going to take a small break because I gotta go potty. So, you guys just enjoy the music. I'll take it off loop so it'll play different songs. I just gotta go potty right quick. All right, I've returned. Yeah, hello. In fact, Jurassic Park was nominated for an Emmy, but lost. I can't remember to what. Yeah, Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park punched people in the gut with feels. I think that's why it's so heavily remembered as one of the best ones. Like it, the whole episode isn't really feely. Like it's just a standard episode, but then that ending hits you with a left hook, and you don't see it coming, and it just jumps to the credits, and you're like, "Wait, what?" Well, my microphone on? Yeah. Okay. Well, shut up, music. It seems like everybody took that little bathroom break as a sign to head out. Seems we lost a lot of viewers. So everything's gone. Come back. I can't. Where's the chat? Where'd it go? I can't see it. Oh, it's right. Okay. Jeez, that was weird. Where? The chat. My chat is gone. There it is. Jeez. What is your favorite food? Chicken wings. Mild chicken wings. Who is your favorite and least favorite Futurama character? Favorite? That's a difficult one because pretty much the main three I like all the same. Fry, Leela, and Bender. Well, Bender had one episode where he really ticked me off. The Pharaoh episode, like, that was just annoying to me. also like it's weird because I like most of the characters all the same. They all provide very similar humor, except Zoidberg. I don't really care for Zoidberg that much. Like I don't hate him, but I just don't care for him that much. How are you keeping safe? Well, I'm just following basic common sense. But the thing is, I actually I'm actually considered an essential worker. So even though most places aren't shut down anymore, when they were, I was not one of those people who stayed in all the time, which I wanted to be. I actually wanted to. I was like, you know what? I would like to take a month off from work so I can just work on YouTube stuff. But I was an essential worker, so. But yeah, just I pretty much most of the stuff that you're supposed to do, I do anyway. A, because I'm an introvert, and B, I just practice decent hygiene. The only thing is the mask. Like I see a lot of people on, because I see them on Twitter, but this is because it's freaking Twitter, and Twitter is horrible. A lot of people on Twitter are like, "Oh man, if you're not wearing a mask, you should be arrested or something like that." It's like, do they not understand the controversy? First of all, the mask is more so to prevent you from spreading it than others from spreading it to you. That's more so what it's for. You know what? I'm gonna stop. I'm stopping. I'm stopping right there because if I talk about that thing, I could get demonetized. I'm done. That's it. So that's that. Shows you hated but now like. These are some interesting thoughts. Shows that you hated but now like. Again, it's hard for me to think of shows I hated. Like, just absolutely hated. One show I can think of I hate is Problem Solvers, but I don't like it now. I hate Family Guy, but I don't like it now. I think I disliked Chowder a little bit. Not that much, but just a little bit. And I like it more now. It's very difficult to say. I might like Moral Oral. People keep telling me to check that show out. I absolutely hated it when I was a kid. I hated a lot of profane stuff when I was a kid. I'm not sure if this is an unpopular opinion, but I never cared about Amy and Kif's relationship. Spoilers if you haven't gotten to that point. Yeah, but I think you have. I don't care about their relationship either. I really don't. Like, Kif, to me, is just a boring character. Amy is fun because she's not by herself. When Amy's with the group, like, she says some funny things. Kif, to me, is just boring. Like, his whole existence is to play off of Zaph. Putting him with Amy didn't really do much. Like, I'm sure there are fans of Kif, but I'm just not one of them. I honestly thought Amy was better with Fry. I thought they were more interesting. I'm still having trouble thinking of shows I didn't like but like now. I mean, I have an appreciation for Sesame Street, and I hated it as a kid. Oh, then let's bring the music back up. Not you. that's the thing. I don't think Amy's character works well in a monogamous relationship. Again, I'm not sure if that's an unpopular opinion. I don't know if it's unpopular either, but I agree with that. Amy's character is meant to be like the one that doesn't take anything seriously. So seeing her take Kif seriously is not really like a magical sight. It just... I more so think it's Kif. I think Kif himself is just boring. When will you release the Shady Do rap? I plan on doing lots of raps when I go full-time on YouTube. That is not even a joke. I have a rap on my old channel, but it was for... Again, on my old channel, I was called Random Person. It was for Random Person. But I would absolutely love to make rap music. I just don't have the time. That's my big thing, man. If once I go full time on YouTube, like there's just a lot of different projects you'll see on this channel or on my second channel. The main thing that's stopping me is I don't have time. Like I have barely enough time throughout the week as it is now to make one video. And even if I like just stopped releasing videos and just got ahead, I would eventually catch up to myself. What rappers do you like? I don't really like modern day rap. Mainstream modern day rap, I haven't heard a good rap song in a long time. Old school rappers, Run DMC, Will Smith, LL, all those are fine. I like listening to YouTube rap stuff. Epic rap battles of history and other rap battles that are on YouTube. I like listening to those. But modern day mainstream rap, I don't really like. Hopeless Peaches, welcome to the stream. We are just hanging out. I'm actually getting a little drowsy. Alright, so I think we slowed down enough. I think it is time to end the stream. That was fun. You guys asked some interesting questions. Some of them made me think in about a lot of stuff, like asking about shows I don't like and whatnot. But thank you guys for stopping by the channel. Appreciate it. Again, it's been a while since I've live streamed, so I wanted to give people an opportunity to ask some questions if they didn't get a chance to, because the comments can be, when it comes to asking questions, your stuff can get lost. So I appreciate anybody who's dropped by and spending time here. You didn't have to spend your time here, but you decided to come here and do that. Appreciate it greatly. And I will see what I can do, because a video is supposed to come out today, but it's not gonna, so I'll try to get it in next week. Hopefully get this schedule more sturdy. Loving the rise in the channel. I'm glad everybody found the Futurama video quite enjoyable. But let's stop stalling this ending, because I'm very bad at ending stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. This has been Shady Doorags. So long. Farewell. Have Wiedersehen. Goodbye.